Today, I'm going to be walking you through how to build a content calendar within Notion. My entire content life lives within Notion. I'm going to show you guys a super beginner version of how to create a content calendar within Notion. I spent a lot of time on YouTube looking at other Notion tutorials. A lot of them end up trying to go from 0 to 100 in one video. This is not going to be that video. It's going to be a very simple, very beginner-friendly version for you guys to follow along and create your own today. And then you can turn it into whatever you want. I'm also going to put links to free templates in the description below. If after creating you would like to download my templates as well, feel free to, and then customize them and make them your own. My name is JT Barnett. I love Notion. This makes me really happy to be able to do this with you guys. Let's dive into it. All right, so check it out. This is the content calendar that we're gonna create. So on this specific content calendar, the only views that we're gonna be using is table view and calendar view. Table view is like a big list of everything where it shows all of the different attributes or the different things that are incorporated in that list. So I look at table view as kind of like the all view. With all of that information that is in this table, you can then go and create different looks. So this is literally how Notion is built. All of Notion is built like this. You can then go and create different looks. So you could create a table, a board, a chart, a list, a timeline, a calendar, a gallery, to customize it however you want. In this video, we're just using table and calendar because I think it's the only two that you guys really need to get started, even just table. So in mine, I have a content title, which is the title of the video. I use it as the title of the video. So anytime that I am coming up with a new video or a new piece of content, I think about the title of what that's going to be. That could just be the idea for you. It could be the exact title. It could be just a concept. It could be an idea. Whatever you want, just something for you to remember it. I put that in as title. Filming date is something that I think is important for me because it allows me to actually look at my calendar and put a date in. So we're going to do the filming date. Publish date is also important because that is the date that you are going to be posting it. If you are more advanced and you want to add in multiple dates from filming to editing to script writing, that's okay. For this one, we're just going to use filming and publishing. And then the status of each platform. If you literally only post on TikTok, maybe you only need one of these and you can just use the status of your TikTok where it is at from filming to publishing. If you use TikTok and YouTube and LinkedIn like I have on this table, I'm going to show you how to create those different three. And then the last thing, like I mentioned, is just a link, just a link to whatever you want to link to. If that is inspiration, if that is a drive to where you are actually housing the content, because Notion does have a limit on how much content you can actually house within Notion. So I use like a Google Drive. If that is a Dropbox, if that is your iCloud Drive, use this to actually put a link to wherever it is linking out to. If you have multiple, you can create more of them. For this table, we are just going to create one. Now I'm going to quickly show you the other view of the calendar. And then we're going to get into building this and doing it however you want to do it. This is the look of the calendar. So this calendar right now is showing all of the dates that are plugged in for, I'll show you right here, all of the dates that are plugged in by filming date. So you can choose it to be the created time, the last edited time, basically anything that has like an actual date in the table view, like we were just on, is able to be looked at from a calendar view. So filming date, publishing date, those are probably the most typical ones. I have one for filming date on this calendar. You can do them for however you want. But just if you look at the calendar here, now it shows that if I put something for August 1st as the filming date, when I click over on the calendar view, it's going to be there for August 1st. So now you just have a different view, just a different view. It's not a completely different thing. It's just showing the data in a different way. That's all you got to remember. It's just showing the data in a different way. So if I want to have a calendar for the filming dates, now I can actually look at all of this and see, okay, cool. I could go to my Google Calendar and look at, or Notion Calendar if you use that. I can go to my calendar and actually look at on August 1st, I know that I am going to be filming this video that is in my content calendar on Notion. I'm going to be filming that on that day. Why don't we get into building it? So let's just say you're starting from a completely blank, untitled page. I'm not going to use any shortcuts on the keyboard. I'm going to make this very simple for you guys. So what you're going to do is you're going to click the little plus sign. Then you're going to go down to where it says table view. You're going to click that. Now that is going to create a table within this page. So this actual table itself will need a title. So you can title this whatever you want. Edit the database title. Let's call it content calendar. Okay, now the difference between this title and the main page, this page, if you called it content calendar, this table right here is actually not the only thing on the page. So you actually could add images, you could add, this is my inspo, and add more to the page than just your calendar. So what you want to do is actually have a title for just this table, and then the page, you want to name it something else. So if this is like just your home page, home base, and then within that you have your content calendar, because you could actually open up your content calendar as a full page and you could send just the content calendar to somebody else, or you could bookmark just the content calendar, which is just the database itself. So that's the difference between the page title and the actual table's title. Okay, so we're going to just keep this untitled for now. And within the content calendar, now all you're seeing is this table. So this is what I was telling you guys before. This is the first view that we have, which is the layout of table. We're not going to use board. We're not going to use timeline. We are going to use calendar. We're not going to use list, gallery, or chart. Just going to leave it at table first. So table itself comes with, just when you do it by itself, it starts with a name, which is what we're going to change into title, and with tags. So let's change this name one into title. This is going to be the video titles. Like we just said before, it can be an idea. It can be a actual name that you're going to use as your hook, whatever you want. Just you're going to name it title for now. Now the separate ones that we're going to make, this first one that we're going to do is going to be the views that will turn into calendar. So this is going to be a filming date for you to actually set the dates of when you're going to make the content. So you'll go in and you'll click the top here. Then you'll go into edit property. Follow me here. You'll go into type. So what type of property it is. And you're going to go all the way down to date. You're going to click on date. Now you're going to see that changes. So you'll see the little calendar icon. That means that it's now a date property. And you're going to change this name to film date. Filming, whatever you want. I think I actually on the other one put filming. So let's do this. Filming date. Now under this filming date, you can actually change the format of it to whatever you want. So if you look at your dates of month, day, year, month, year, month, day, relative I think is a little too complex. So let's just leave it for now as the way that I do it is typically month, day, year, because that's how I'm in America. This is the way that I do stuff. So I do month, day, year. The format of it, if you are on military time, you can do 24 hours. I do 12. Wrap in view is something that we'll get to as we start writing in these titles. But let's just do the month, day, year, and 12 hour. If that feels good for you, let's start with that. So now you have filming date. Okay, we have title, we have filming date. We're going to make another one now. Do that same thing. It's going to be date. Now you're going to do publishing date. So this is the date that your content is actually getting posted. Publishing date. Same thing, date format. You're going to go month, day, year. Time format, you're going to go 12 hour. Now, if you are doing multiple of these, you could duplicate this property and it would create the exact same one, so you don't have to go and create like new, edit the times and all of that again. And you could just change the title to publishing date, which is what we are going to do with these next status columns. But just so you know, if you're going to be making a bunch of things that are the same ones, feel free to just duplicate it and then just change the title. It makes it a little bit easier rather than creating all of them from scratch. Okay, moving on. Now we have title, we have filming date, we have publishing date. The next thing that we are going to make is going to be the statuses. So this is the difference between it being an idea to it being published. We're going to create a status for each platform that we use. So the first thing that you go into is once you click this plus bar, you're going to go down to the type and you're going to click either select or multi-select. I'm going to show you the difference of these two right now. We are going to use select. And we're going to type in, when we have select, we are going to use TikTok status. This right here is going to be the flow of content creation. So whatever it is for you, when you think about like, how do I usually go from an idea to actually pressing post on something? Typically it's something like, okay, this is just an idea. I haven't really outlined it yet. Then maybe I've outlined it. Then I'm filming it. Then I'm editing it. And then I'm posting it. For you, there could be more steps. If you have a production team, it could be initial meeting, then copy, revisions, photo, revisions. Like you could add as many steps as you want to this. Because this is a beginner one, we are going to add just a couple of steps. So for this, you will go down to option and you're going to add an option. The first one we're going to do on this one is because I want it to be very simple, is just, we haven't outlined it yet. So it's just an idea. So I write in, haven't outlined. Anytime I add a new idea to this table and it's just an idea, it'll automatically be, it hasn't been outlined. I haven't even outlined it yet. The next thing after that is going to be, now we've outlined it. So now this is actually like a formed idea. Beyond that, the next one is going to be filming. Then we're going to have editing. And then we're going to have, once it's done editing, published. And you know, I like to change these colors around to, like, once it's published, I like to usually have it be something like green. Green is usually celebratory. So usually when it's like I haven't outlined it, I'll have it in red, and then I'll change some of these other ones around in the middle. And then I usually have published as green because when you see green, it means good. Okay, we've got TikTok status. So now we know when something has gone from not being outlined to being published. And we are going to copy this for Instagram and for LinkedIn. Actually, just based off of the other table that I have, we're going to do YouTube and we're going to do LinkedIn. Name these whatever you want. Whatever platforms you use, feel free to change those and add them in. So we're going to duplicate this. Remember I told you about duplicating? We're going to duplicate this. All you got to do, right click on the top here, go to duplicate property. Now you're going to see right next to it, it's going to say the same thing with a little 1 next to it. All you got to do is change the name. We're going to do LinkedIn status. So now we have that LinkedIn status with all of those same things. Now we're going to do another duplicate. And we're going to name that one YouTube status. Now I'm going to do one more. The last one that we are adding in is going to be a link. So you're going to click the little plus and you're going to go down to a URL. You're going to see the little link button next to it. You're going to add a URL one. Now this is going to be a link to Drive. This could be a link to your Dropbox. This could be a link to your Inspo. This could be a link to your Airtable, whatever you want to do. Whatever you're linking to, where your content is housed, this is the place for it. So I'll put a link here. Now that's done. And so now we have this fully formed kind of table. That this is the most simple and basic one that we need. Honestly, it could get even more simple than this. If you're only posting on one platform, or if you're posting everything on the same platform, you only need to do one of these statuses. I like doing a couple of them. I'll show you mine after this where it's even more detailed, but for the case of this, we're going to start writing in what it actually looks like to fill this in with one content idea. So now you have these done and you are coming up with ideas. And today you actually end up having an idea that is how to effectively build community. Okay, so you're like, okay, you know what? I actually have this idea of how to build community. You can do a couple different things. First thing you can do is you can click the plus sign, and that's just going to start a new one for you, and you can write it in right here. How to effectively build community. You can write it in like that. Second thing you can do is you can click the plus sign, and rather than typing it in, you can click the little open next to it, and it's going to completely open it up for you to actually fill it in a more in-depth way. Or you can write in the title, and then when you're done, click the open on the same one. It's going to open up the same way. So let's delete these other ones really quick. And let's just have one in our thing. So you now have this table. You just typed in how to effectively build community. And you're just going to click up this little open and side peek. The different ways that it will open, the difference between side peek and it opening into like its own full page. Side peek is like this. And then if you see at the top here, you have the different options where it says peek mode, open in full page. Side peek is, see how it's like split here, where it's like really off to the side, but you can still see the calendar. That's all side peek is. I actually like to open mine up as like a full page. So I end up like clicking on this whole thing, and now we're fully in this one content idea. Okay? We're fully in this one content idea. You can see all of these properties, which is the info from that table. You can see all of them right here. So remember how I was saying, if we go back, remember how I was saying that this table is really just like a bunch of different info entered in one place? That's what this table is. So if you go into this single idea and you actually open it up into the full page, you're able to see all of that info right here listed. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to add in all of these different things right here. So filming date. When do we want to film this? For the sake of conversation, we're going to go in and we're going to film this on next Monday. Okay, so we'll click that in. If you actually want to include a time, you're able to do that too. If you wanted to go in and do like, okay, I'm going to film this at 12 p.m. Awesome. Don't need to do it. If you want to completely clear this and start from scratch again, you can click clear. But for the sake of it, let's fill something in for next Monday that we're going to film this. Cool? Okay, little quick tip. All of these are going to be in a random order. I don't know how Notion actually sorts this. These are going to be in a random order to start. If you want to, what you can do is you can actually like drag them into a more applicable order for you. So I like to have my filming date next to my publishing date. The link to the drive isn't as important, so I'll put that at the end, and I will put the statuses in the middle. If you want to have the statuses at the front, awesome. Just drag them to the front. That's okay. Filming date and publishing date, then the statuses, and then link to drive is what we have right here. So let's go into publishing date. Now we're going to pick, okay, if we're filming this on Monday and then we're going to publish it, how far later into the week do we feel like we're going to publish it? Let's just put later in the week, like maybe 3 or 4 days. So now we're filming it on Monday and we're posting it on Thursday. Awesome. The LinkedIn status for this, because I haven't done anything yet, that's not outlined. The TikTok status, not outlined. The YouTube status, not outlined. The link to the drive, because we don't have a link yet, that's okay. You know what? I'm just going to put www.google.com so you guys can see what it looks like in an actual table. But just so you can see it right here, this is what it looks like when you've kind of entered in the info. What I end up doing in my content calendar, now that you can see how things have kind of like been laid out where it still is haven't outlined, what I end up doing once I've written in a new idea, test idea, I end up going like this. I end up coming in here, opening it up into a full page, and then using this body, the body of the page, to write out my whole ideas. So I end up going like, this is the idea right here. LinkedIn idea. And I'll make this one a little bit bigger. So I'll click on this. I'll highlight it. I'll click text here. And I'll turn it into a bigger heading. Just so that you can see kind of like that this is a different idea. So I'm going to show you again. If you click on any text, there's different ways for you to change that text into different things. You can very much, this is getting into the advanced, very much customize it with code and toggles and all of that, which I will show you in mine. But just for the sake of it, just to separate what the idea is from the platform itself, I'll just put a little heading here on this LinkedIn idea, just as number 3 to separate the actual title from the idea itself. So now I have LinkedIn idea. This is my LinkedIn specific idea. Now, let's just say that I've actually now come in and spent some time and I'm like, okay, great idea. This is feeling good. We're now ready to film. So now that I've gone from this just being literally no outline idea, so the status is haven't outlined, and now I've come in here and I've actually spent some time outlining it. Now I'll go into my status and I'll be like, I have outlined this. This is completely outlined. If it's even at the point now where I'm like, we are ready to film, I'll even change it to now we're in filming. So now it's time for me to come in and know that I am filming this. And I'll do the same thing for both of them. So LinkedIn is there. Now I'll do the same thing for TikTok idea. I'll come in, I'll write out, this is my TikTok idea, vlog, green screen, whatever it is goes here. Okay, so now I have my TikTok idea. And now let's just say the TikTok idea got to the point where it was outlined, but it's not ready to film yet. I'm not fully ready to film this. Okay, go into the TikTok status and you go outlined, but you haven't filmed it yet. You guys understand what I'm saying here? All of these different things, the more time that you spend with each of the idea, the more you just go into each little status and you update them. So last thing we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing with YouTube. One more thing, YouTube idea goes right here. I'm going to film a fully fleshed out day in my life. You know what? I don't know yet. I'm not there with my YouTube. I'm actually not sure. So I'm going to go into YouTube and I'm going to keep it as haven't outlined yet because I'm really not sure. I still don't feel clear on it yet. Okay, so now I know my LinkedIn is ready to film. My TikTok, I'm not fully ready to film it. And my YouTube is, I haven't even, I need more time to really even think about it. So that's the ways that I would update them. So whatever the filming date is, I'll go in again and I'll click, okay, if Monday we're going to go and film this, and then the publishing date, okay, awesome. We're going to publish it at the end of the week. Now we're going to go back, and let me just say this for you people that are getting, that's minds are already turning into more advanced. In my own content calendar, I do an individual page idea, like this test idea too. I do an individual page for each platform. So if this is my LinkedIn idea, I'll literally write test idea LinkedIn. And I have a status for each of those platforms. So every one of them is their own individual one. So just if you're thinking like, wait a minute, the filming date, what if I'm filming for LinkedIn and then filming for TikTok on a different date? Awesome. You're more advanced. You need something more complex. For those of you that are more simple and you're going to film everything on one date, go ahead and enter in what a filming date is and then what a publishing date is. And now I'm going to show you how this table looks after you've entered some of those things in. So maybe you've even entered in Google Drive as your drive. And now we're going to go back to this content calendar. You're going to see how this looks now with both of these ideas written in here. Okay? So this is your table view. Now we're going to go and we're going to click the plus sign, not table. We're going to click the plus sign next to it. We're going to add a completely additional view, which is going to be that calendar view. Remember, we're not using any of these other ones. We're just going to use calendar. So now we're going to do calendar view. And this calendar, when you go over here, these three dots, you're going to click layout and you're going to see the what the calendar is being shown by. So this is your filming calendar. Okay? Filming date. So this is your filming calendar. So remember how we added in that both of those are going to be filmed on Monday? Now you'll actually see on your calendar view that those are both in here on Monday. It's that simple. Literally, you go into your table, add some dates, filming date. You also have them for publishing date. When you add the other view for calendar, they'll automatically be in there. If you wanted to add another calendar and go back to those three dots and have this one be the publishing date, Now you have a content calendar for your publishing date. We're not going to do that one. We're just going to use 2 calendars on this one. So it's just going to be done by filming date. But all you need right here is just a table and calendar. So now you have this basic one done. Completely done for yourself. If you want to get into the specifics of it and really do this more detailed and have a chart and a list and a timeline, just to even show you a couple more of what these different views can look like. If you wanted to have it be shown as a list where all of your content ideas are just done in a list where they're not showing like they are in the table all these other different properties, then you can do a list view. If you feel like you actually want to see a timeline, like where it's showing a calendar and you're able to drag the dates, could totally do that too. Could totally do a timeline. Show you some of these other ones. Gallery, if you actually have photo and video in your content ideas, like in this table, if when you're doing an idea under your test idea, you're actually putting images and it's like your inspo, maybe you're somebody that actually wants to add a gallery view. And in this gallery view, you actually are showing the images rather than how it's showing LinkedIn idea right here. You get to customize this. Today, we're just doing the most basic. And now you guys are probably at the point where you have the most basic content calendar done. Okay? So the more ideas that you get filled in here, the more you're going to have this big database of all of your ideas, with it being coordinated by filming dates and statuses. And every time that you go in and you film something and publish something, you'll be able to come in here. And if you just went and filmed this, how to effectively build community, and you filmed for all of them, and you've now posted for all of them, you come in here and you click published, and you click published, and you click published. And now you're able to actually see where you are at with each piece of content, making it so much easier for you. I hope that has helped with you guys being able to actually see how to build a very simple content calendar on Notion. Now I'm going to show you what mine looks like, and I'm going to walk you through how I do it. And if there's any inspo that you guys have, I'm going to make a template for you guys as well that's a little bit more advanced that you guys can download for yourself as well. So I'm going to move over to my own content calendar now, and I'm going to walk you through that. Okay, now to the fun part for me, because I am a nerd with Notion and I really like to have mine be very unique and customized to my own needs. So if you are looking for something more advanced or just curious as to where this can go and lead to for you, especially if somebody who is trying to use this to continue housing their content and like making it work for them, I'm going to expose the exact way that I use it and the exact content calendar and planner that I'm using for anybody that is like, I want some more inspo as to maybe some things that I can take into mine. This is what I currently use. So I have a thing called a content planner. So this page itself is not the actual calendar. This is all of my running list of ideas that haven't been fully fleshed out into a page like I just walked you guys through. So anytime I get just like a simple idea in my iPhone notes, I usually am writing them in my iPhone notes. And then at some point throughout the day, I'll actually like transfer them into this. Now, before we go any further, the way that I make my content is I have different pillars and I have different content styles. Pillars for me are the different kind of categories of content that I film. So office and work physical products, office and work apps and digital products, home products, travel, fashion and wellness products, finance, content and business tips, routines and productivity, mindset and motivation, personal life updates and moments. These are all the different kinds of categories that make up my own content. Okay? Content styles is the actual way that the content is being filmed. So a vlog video with a voiceover, a vlog with a text, photos, photo carousels, graphics, a tweet screenshot, a talking head video like this, a green screen video. So these are all the different content styles that I like to make content in. So I have these pillars and I have these styles. I know, very detailed for some of you guys are like, you already lost me. Anyways, when I have ideas, I come and I write them in. They're broken down by the different pillars. So I'll write them within a pillar. Under content and business tips, I'll write something like how to maximize business when you're going to an event. And these are all done within toggles. So a toggle is a text that then can have a drop down menu and you can add more text or more info within it. So I'll first write out my idea and then I'll actually have a little toggle and I'll break it down a little bit more. And I'll just break down that idea a little bit further within the toggle. When I get to a place where I actually am like, okay, now I am scheduling and like planning and I know that I need some ideas to be in the content calendar, let me walk you through my baby of my content calendar. So within my content calendar, once something gets turned into an actual video that is going to be created, I come in here and I'll make something new. Same way that I showed you guys, I'll open it up big and I will have that exact title like I think the last one that I just said was how to maximize business at a event, something like that. Now, the same thing that I was showing you before, I have a same kind of status. In this one, my statuses are pre-production, copywriting, editing, JT reviewing, because I'm not the only one in this. There is a team that will be working on this as well. So when they get through editing, they will flag this as me needing to review it. Then I will click for it to need revisions if it needs revisions. If at some point we choose to pass on the idea and not use it, I'll mark it as pass. If I approve it for somebody to be posting it, I'll mark it as approved. And then once it's done being posted, I click posted. So that's my statuses. There is also an assign to. So this property itself is a person property. So anybody else that I have access, that have given access to in my Notion, I can actually tag them within this. I love using this. It's great if you have an editor to actually tag them in a video or tag them when it's their turn to be going in and using it and editing it. So this is an assign to, and you actually can click on this and tag somebody. I have filming dates. I have posting dates. Now here's the unique ones that I didn't show you guys earlier. My tags are for the platform, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, newsletter. So that is the platform it's going to get posted to. Now, pillar is what I just showed you guys before. So I'll actually mark this with which pillar is being filmed. Is this a content and business tip video? Is this a home product? Is this a personal life update? I'll actually mark all of these. Now this is where it gets even more nuanced. What style am I filming this in? Is this a vlog with a voiceover? Is this a photo carousel? Is this a graphic carousel? Is this a green screen? Is it a written article? There's about 15 to 20 different styles, and there will continue to be as new styles come about. What is it? How is it being done? If it's just a photo carousel, cool. Now I know that I am making a video, or now I know that I'm doing a photo carousel. How to maximize business at an event. It's a personal life update. That's a photo carousel. Actually, maximizing business at an event would be a content and business tip. It's a content and business tip around how to maximize business at an event done in a photo carousel. Now I know here is my idea. This is the inspo here. And that will be the way that I'll go about it. I will pick the filming date. I will pick the posting date. I will tag people. And that's the way that I go about it. So if you look back at my content calendar here, you'll see I also have a filming calendar. I also have a posting calendar. This includes my newsletter. We do all of the newsletter within this. Me and my team. I will format it. I'll leave comments on things. And this is how I stay super organized. Okay? So I typically like looking at it in the all because I just like something about the view of everything being there is the way that I like looking at it. If you guys are people that like looking at it from the filming or the posting date, or if you're somebody that wants to get even more crazy and have things in boards or charts or lists, the more the merrier for you. All right, guys, I hope that this was helpful for you. I'm going to put the links to these free templates down below in the description so you guys can please just download them and use them yourself. If you want to start with that as your base and customize them, go ahead and do that. I hope that this really helps you. I am an enormous advocate of Notion. Something I did not go over in this video is the mobile app, which I think is a great hack for you to download. If you are going to be using this, download the mobile app. It's what I use every day when I'm on the go and needing to look at something from my phone. It's great. Check that out as well. And if you liked this, check out some of my other videos because I am here to help you. All right, guys, have a great day. Thank you for watching.